Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be here tonight. My name is Isam, and I'm a co-founder of BeMind. I'll start with a personal story. It all started 5 years ago, when my grandmother was admitted to the intensive care unit after having pneumonia. During her stay, something really strange happened to her. She became very aggressive to the medical teams, and when I reached to visit her, she didn't even recognize me. I was really afraid about her cognitive condition when I asked the medical teams what happened to her, and then the nurse said, she's having a delirium. But what is delirium? Well, delirium is an acute clinical state, and it is defined as a disturbance of attention, awareness, and a change in baseline cognition. Let's talk a bit about numbers. In the US alone, up to 2 million patients in the intensive care unit will develop delirium during their stay. It is associated with 9 times greater risk for permanent cognitive impairment, such as dementia, and with prolonged hospitalization. Also, it is associated with doubled mortality rate within the ICU. These are huge numbers. Accumulated together, the cost outcome is $70 billion in the US alone. We are BeMind, and we are on the mission to reduce delirium incidence in the intensive care unit by 45%. But how? Well, after great research, observations on real delirious patients, we understood that one of the main factors that leads to delirium is the disturbing environment around the hospitalized patient. Allow me to introduce our solution. We want to offer a tracking device and an intervention device. Allow me to explain how it works. We're looking at our high-level design. Our system tracks the patient continuously and interacts with the patients with proven protocols, prevention protocols. Tracking the patient is made via a specially programmed camera, where our algorithm translates the body pose and movement into a cognitive status. Based on this status, we interact with the patients with proven intervention protocols, such as cognitive simulations, connectivity with the family, and a wide range of information that can keep the patient oriented. Now, these interactions are made via a screen with directional speakers that transmits the sound exclusively to the patient alone. Also, and another key feature of our device is that during and while we're interacting with the patient, we record his behavior, and artificial intelligence share these insights with the medical teams in order to predict possible cognitive deterioration. Last but not least, due to its affordable price and adaptable mounts, our system can be set on every hospital's bed. As you will see in the following video, we have a fully operational prototype that can learn the patient's behavior within 1 hour. And now, and currently, we are working on improving the sensitivity and specificity of this prototype. This is our first prototyping session. As you can see, we have the ability to track different landmarks of the patient's face and body. We analyze this data along with baseline cognitive information in order to predict possible deterioration, allowing us to adjust the intensity of our prevention protocol accordingly. Displayed now, you can see the screen that is shown to the patient with an example of a preventive protocol, which in this case was a message from the family for his newborn grandchild. Our solution will be the market leader, the future market leader. We're bringing personalized treatment, enabling connectivity with the family in departments where the visits are strictly limited. We're reducing workload and costs, and of course, due to the continuous tracking, we are yielding a big data. If we look at our competitive landscape, where we can see a huge effort from emerging solutions to monitor delirium, but monitoring isn't enough. On the other side, those who are trying to prevent delirium have an inherent scalability difficulties due to the fact that they need to rely on a huge amount of volunteers or need to make a makeover for the ICU rooms. Our system is on the bed level. Therefore, and alongside with our prevention capabilities, we are scalable. Let's talk about regulatory affairs. Regarding IP, we have identified several key factors for provisional patent submission, and regulatory affairs, we are going for 510(k) exempt due to the fact that we are providing well-being solution that cause no harm with little to no risk. Business, let's talk business. In the case we address the need statement and reducing the delirium incidence by 45%, the cost savings annually would be $5 billion in the US alone. Regarding reimbursement, we are targeting mainly the Medicare population within the inpatient pathway, and our sales will be directly to the hospital and based on capital equipment plus subscription under the price of $30,000 per unit. Our next steps are to complete our R&D, perform observational studies and clinical trials, complete the regulatory affairs aspects, and then to our go-to-market, which is the ICU. This is our team, a multidisciplinary team. I want also to acknowledge our mentors for the huge contribution along the way. And before I conclude, what you have seen now is just the tip of the iceberg. This prototype we have reached in 1 month. Just imagine with the vital resources where we can get. Thank you very much.